And we're off. Let's have the official start now.
Woo!
All right, do you want to do the introduction to my podcast?
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. Hi guys, I'm Jenna, and I am here with Stephen Rigatoni on Fun on Weekdays.
Welcome back to the podcast, y'all. I still never know how to pronounce your actual last name.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yes.
My last name is Antonini.
Antonini,
Yep.
But I've always known you as Stephen Rigatoni.
And that's okay.
And we love that for you. I feel like it makes more sense to be Rigatoni.
Yeah, and the reason I did that is because I was searching for jobs as I was like kind of growing a following on TikTok.
Okay.
And I didn't want my recruiters, which I didn't want my recruiters to see the content I was posting. Not that it's anything provocative.
Yeah,
okay?
no, you don't post anything that's bad.
I don't post anything that's bad. I cuss a little bit, maybe a little joke here and there, but I didn't want them to see it, so I did Rigatoni.
It's a little stage name. It's kind of like an alter ego, if you will.
Exactly.
Love it. So, y'all, I'm here with my friend, Stephen Antonini, or a.k.a. Stephen Rigatoni. He is my friend, my literal first friend I've ever made on TikTok, ever.
Same. Not kidding. Yeah,
and this is our first time meeting. We're both from Ohio. So, I guess, like, the history of how we met was last 2020 April.
Yes. Yeah. Right. COVID started. Right when COVID started. And I remember that I posted some video. Do you remember what video it was?
Yes, it was one of those things. So remember back in the day on Facebook, you would have those statuses that it was like a "Why? What's up?" or like this for a TBH.
Oh my God! Yes. Okay.
Or
this
like
is
this,
what it was.
like this for a. Yeah, I know her. Why? What's up?
It would be like when people on AIM were like for a truth, and you'd like it, and then they'd message you, and it would not even be like, I think you're really cool. It would just be facts. They'd be like, truth is you ride my bus and you're in my math class. Okay, I already knew that, Sandra. What do you mean?
Yeah, or truth is, or TBH, I think you're really cool, but we've never talked much. We should hang out more.
And then you never hang out with them.
Yeah.
Never message again.
It's the exact same as writing in somebody's yearbook at the end of the year, like, have a great summer, we need to get together, and then you literally do not talk to them until the first day of class the following year. And not even the following year, like 2 months later, whatever.
2 months later.
But always. So you made a video that was along the lines of that. Do you remember what it was?
I think it was exactly that, but I don't know what it was. I should have looked it up to like be prepared. I also came into this podcast empty-handed, so obviously my preparation skills are like not well.
You're not leaving empty-handed though. We got high noons in hand.
And we're gonna cheers again because that's how we roll, right into the mic.
I'm gonna like try to keep the.
Oh my God! I spill every time. Every time.
What, the spills?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna try to keep
burps.
the seltzer burps.
Because we're Carbonation City over here, ladies and gentlemen. No, and then you made a video based on it or something like that. Give me credit, which I love. Love the credit because obviously I'm like really famous. So it's like, I'm just kidding. Then you made a video and then we followed each other and that was it.
I think it was honestly, I don't know if it was before or after I had made the TikTok resume video.
It might have been. It was right before because I remember we followed each other and you were like, oh my gosh, you're so funny. Yeah. She was such a big fan, you know. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, look at me. I'm like, I'm kidding. People are going to think I'm not kidding.
You should be serious. You're so funny. You're literally one of the funniest people that I know.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you, Jenna.
No problem.
But then you made the TikTok video and blew up. And then here we are.
And here we are now talking for the first time ever in person. But so you are on TikTok, but you don't do it full time because you just moved to LA for your real
Yes.
Do you work? What's your job right now?
So I moved here to work at an ad agency.
Okay.
The ad agency is called RPA. I'll say it because who cares?
Yeah.
And it's in
your
Santa
boss
Monica.
is listening to this. No, you're not.
Fun fact on my boss: he is starting a podcast, and I'm helping him with it, which is awesome.
No way.
Yeah,
he should totally get on here.
It'll bore you guys to sleep. So I'll just start from where the question originated from, if we will.
Keep it on his podcast.
Oh my, that's
we're here to make you laugh.
I'm like, you're my friend Jenna? He's like, I thought, whatever. Okay, so he, where was I? Oh, job.
Yes.
I'm talking at the speed of light, and I'm so sorry, because people are going to be like, we didn't understand a thing that your guest said.
That's how I feel every time I record. I'm like, I need to really, when I listen back to it, I'm like, holy crap, is this in, what's the word, like speed up, fast motion? So, okay, take a deep breath. We're going back. Now we're talking about work. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so I work in Santa Monica. That's where my office is, but we're not an office. And I am an audience intelligence specialist. Hello. Okay. Every time I say that, I'm like, it's not as smart as it sounds.
That sounds so
me with a job
official.
title as intelligence, they do not mix. That is not me. But no, it's just like media programmatic, and I love it.
That's so cool. So you just started and you just graduated college. So Stephen and I are both from, you're from Ohio, right?
Yeah. Okay. This is the first actual state I've lived in other than Ohio.
That's crazy. How has it been so far?
I love it. There was a lot of shocking revelations I had.
Yeah.
But I could not be having more fun.
I would love to hear. What are like the revelations that you've had since moving to LA? Because you know that I talk so much. I'm like, you need to get out of your small town. Like, get out, leave. You can always go back. If there's ever a time to travel and do whatever you want, it's right now when you're young, out of college, you know, like pursue something. And then if you ever want to go back to your hometown, then go do it. But I love that you just made like a huge jump from Ohio to LA. So what are those revelations?
Oh my God, let me get down. So I wanted to live in LA my whole life specifically because I was obsessed with YouTubers growing up, like literally as a 12-year-old, and I was like, that city looks so fun. So since that day, I've been like, LA is where I'm moving, right?
Yeah.
Never thought it was a actual reality until my older brother Joe moved here, and then I was like, I'm coming with you. So now we're here, and honestly, the biggest shock for me, and I told all my friends this before I moved here, I was like, I want to challenge myself. Growing up in Ohio, I've lived there for 22 years before I moved here. Yeah. And it's like, I went to the same grade school as my friends, the same college as all my friends. Like, your friends are basically handed to you when you live in the Midwest your whole life. So for me, I was like, I'm going to challenge myself to like make new friends as I moved to LA. And the shocking revelation was, it is not as easy to hang out with creator friends that you make on the internet that you think. And that is because, and it's no shade, I'm just saying like, this city is so big.
Yeah.
And it's like, everyone's so busy.
Yeah.
And like me working a full-time job and everyone else just doing like social media full-time, schedules are so different. So it's like, it's just not the same. But I love it. I really am having so much fun here.
Yeah. Well, I think too, as a guy moving to a new city, I mean, I feel like maybe it's a little bit different for girls like trying to make friends because you have Instagram and that's like very normal that you can DM someone and be like, hey girl, like you look so cute. I would love to get coffee or do something. Yeah. And I think maybe like for guys, it's not a normal thing to go on like Bumble BFF.
Oh my God. I am so glad you brought that up because me and my brother were literally joking about that like a week ago. My brother's girlfriend, who I also live with, she made a bunch of friends right when she moved here in 2019 on Bumble BFF. Like she would go on these awesome like, are they called Bumble BFF dates? Is that what they're called? Love it, yeah.
It's literally like dating for friends. And I mean, it's the exact same as a dating profile, but it's like just friends. I don't know if it's as normalized in LA, but like Austin, Bumble was founded in Austin, so it's so normal. Like I've met so many girls through that. One of my best friends, Abby, and I've talked about this on another podcast. I met her through there, and I was going to live with her. So I feel like it's so normalized for girls to use social media, but whereas if it's like a dude sliding into your DMs, like, hey man, would love to hit up Top Golf. Yeah, like what are we supposed to do? Get fucked to go
watch football? Like what are we supposed to do? Literally, that's what my brother said. He was like, I just literally latched onto all of Sophia's friend, that's my brother's girlfriend name, because I didn't, like, what is he going to do? Go watch football with a friend he's never met? Like, it's just weird. It's different.
Well, that's why I'm here to tell you that you can do that.
Exactly, you can do that.
Exactly.
And I want to.
You totally should.
Hang out with me. I'm kidding.
Yeah, anybody who's listening to this, you're in the LA area, Stephen is a great guy to hang out with. So funny. So have you made any like guy friends here that...
Yeah, actually, funny enough, Joey, who was also tagging along with his girlfriend, when I moved here, was tagging along to all of their hangouts, all of their pool parties, whatever, and I would just be like the kid. I would be like the third wheel, not only with my brother and his girlfriend, but the third wheel within like the entire party because I just moved there, and I don't know how people in LA act. I don't know if it's like a, hey, I'm going to come up to you and be like, hi, I just moved here. And what I've realized is half the time, it's like, oh my God, cool, like where'd you move from? Like, I'm also from the Midwest, or people who are like, just not as nice. There's some people in LA who are rude. We were talking about them on the way here. Yeah. And it was just like okay. And I'm like, okay.
For sure. There's people that like just don't really want to give you time of day. Those are probably the people you're not going to be friends with realistically though. Yeah. Also just not really the kind of people that we like gravitate towards. But I feel like people from the Midwest always have that like sense of like community. Exactly. You can meet somebody literally anywhere and you say you're from the Midwest and you instantly have something to bond over.
And the first thing is always like, where'd you go to school? It's always that. Everyone talks about their college. I love it.
Which is a perfect segue for you. I'd love for you to talk about college because you just graduated in May, right?
I did.
Okay. And like that's crazy because I mean, you just finished school, upped and left, and When did you move to LA?
I moved to LA August 30th. So I've been here about a month and a half.
Okay, so like literally 2 or 3 months after you graduated. Okay, so let's talk about college for a little bit, because a lot of people that listen to my podcast are in college.
Yep.
So first question I have to ask, of course, what are your fun weekday activities that you would do? And talk about where you went to college too,
Amazing.
Of course.
I went to college at University of Dayton, go Flyers. That was so cringy of me that I just said go Flyers. I am like not like a sports like woo. But no, I actually thought about that question on the way here because I was listening to your episode with Louis, right?
Louis.
Okay. So I did this thing in college with a group of 3 people. There was a bar/restaurant called Milano's on campus, all right? And it's probably the same thing as like a Buffalo Wild Wings, like sports bar, wings, whatever. You can picture it in your heads. They had this challenge
Picturing like Buffalo.
Exactly.
Buffalo
You
Wild
can get the
Wings.
smell.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I smell it right now. Except for my senses.
It tastes like a blue moon in my mouth right now. I'm not kidding.
No. Oh my God. I have such a story about Blue Moon. I've told this story on the podcast before, but basically, first time I ever drank Blue Moon was the first time I ever tried beer, and it went through my nose. So I've never had a Blue Moon since then.
My first beer was a PBR.
Oh God.
Like.
Not a Natty Light? Not a Natty Daddy?
Not a strawberry lemonade natural light? Who the fuck are
those? Those are good Natter Days?
They are, but it's also like, why
I would never drink one of those.
Oh my God, no. Keystone only. All right?
Oh yeah, you already know. Keystone Light. So 100-calorie, chuggable beer.
Just a rude.
If anybody listening to this knows, then you know.
You know.
You know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, so going back to it.
Okay, so there was this challenge that they did at Milano's, and it was like a 100-day Milano's challenge, and all you had to do was get a group of 4 people, you sign up, and every day, 2 people out of the 4, you can come together, you can not come together, you would have to go and spend at least $5, and then you would ask the waitress, hey, I need to sign the book.
Okay.
And at the end, you would get a sweatshirt and a photo on the wall.
That is so genius. They get you to spend $500 for a $15 Gildan sweatshirt.
I am in the cheapest sweatshirt ever, Jenna. I am
but
not
you know
kidding.
what? Priceless memories.
Priceless memories, and that's what I was getting to, is because me and my friends decided we're going to do it second semester senior year because we're all going to go to our different cities after we graduate and miss each other. So it was like, why not literally like just pick a time every single day to meet up at the same place?
Oh, I love that.
And get beers and just catch up. It was so fun. Like, and we did do it the entire 100 days. Some days, I'm not going to lie, we cheated a little bit, but it was only because we were friends with the server. Her name is Leah. I'll never forget her. And she would let us just come in and sign the book without spending any money because we were like, we physically cannot eat. Oh my God. She used to show us pictures of her 2 kids.
Wait, what's her name?
Leah.
Shout out to Leah.
Come on,
Leah. Real one. Mm-hmm. Leah's boss out there if you're listening.
Come on. Don't fire her.
Yeah.
No, but it was great because it was so fun to just literally go every single day. And I remember one day on a Sunday, me and my friend Mary Kate went, and we didn't expect to get drunk because we were so hungover. We're like, let's just go for 1 drink, hair of the dog, do the whole thing.
Of course. It always starts as that, doesn't it?
We're there for 4 hours on a Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, and that's always how it is.
Sundays, so are Sundays like a drinking day for you now, would you say?
I would say they were a drinking day for me second semester senior year, not now, because now I am obsessed. This is the most LA thing I'll ever say. I'm obsessed with the Melrose Trading Post. I cannot stop going. I go every weekend. It is so fun.
And is that only on the weekends?
Only on Sundays.
Okay.
Every Sunday, yeah.
Well, that's a Sunday. That's not a weekday activity, but it's a
so
Sunday activity.
Cut that out. Okay.
So anybody...
Did you guys see that? I did not mean to do that.
I did. Oh my gosh, you're going to have to make up for that. No, you're good. So, I mean, I love that because it kind of like... It builds routine. It builds ritual like while you're in school, but also a great way to just like sit down and hang out with your friends.
Exactly.
So that was your weekday activity.
That was my weekday activity.
Okay. Yep. Love that. Yep. What else? Do you have any other funny stories about Dayton? I love your drinking stories.
Oh my God.
This is also a plug. Your podcast was...
Oh yeah. It's called Drinking Game.
Yes.
Took a little break and it's come back.
Love that. Do a little soft launch.
Yeah. So the podcast started like actually a year ago. Not a year ago. It was like July of 2020, and I started it because senior year COVID was going to be one of the most interesting years of my life, and I knew that going in. So I was like, I'm going to start a podcast to bring on one of my friends every single Saturday or Sunday, just to talk. And we had random things. I did like a Power Hour episode with my friend Reagan. I would do like Truth or Drink, like drunk trivia, like every day, and it was every week, and it was so fun to just like have another thing to do to get together with my friends.
Yeah.
And the only reason I stopped doing it is because I started my job, and I felt like I had to. And this is actually a good life lesson for you guys.
Yeah, love that.
Let's get real, shall we? I'm kidding. No, I when I got home from college, graduated, started to start working. I was like, it felt like I had to like post episodes because I had to rather than I wanted to.
Okay.
And that's never the way to go because you'll lose inspiration very quickly. And now that I'm in LA and it's Content City over here, I'm like, what am I doing sitting in my bed? Yeah, I texted my mom, I said, ship me the mics.
What am I doing sitting in my bed when I should be recording myself sitting in my bed? What do you mean?
Oh my God, I think I've been talking too much. I want to ask you a question.
Okay, you can ask me a question.
Jenna,
sure, let's hear it.
I want to hear about your craziest college story.
My craziest college story. Okay. So I would say this is probably like a defining moment of my college career. It just really started off on such a, I don't even know if I should say like a good note. It wasn't a good note. It was like a very hard step. You know, I'm wearing like really, really loud heels and I'm stomping. That's the kind of step it started in my college career. So my sister Erin was a senior when I was a freshman in college, and she lived in a house like a little bit off campus. I went to Kent State, and she lived on Crane. And so we would go over to her house like all the time to pregame. And so I had visited her a couple times in high school, and these details are literally have nothing to do with the story that I'm about to tell. I get this quality from my mom and my grandma that I just share every single detail about a story that doesn't matter.
Me for the past 10 minutes when I've been telling my stories on the podcast.
No, they're so good.
This episode's going to be 2 hours long.
I love it though.
And that's okay with us.
Yeah, I love it. I feel like the more context, the better. It really visualizes the moment there. So freshman year, I am going out for my very first time as like an actual student there. I'm putting on what I think is a hot ass outfit of the time. I'm wearing this like black and white polka dot silicone Kate Spade watch.
Ooh.
Like what the fuck is that?
That's like a snap-on, like the one that goes.
Basically.
All right.
Basically. Yeah, so I was looking really hot.
Oh
I was trying to get all those college boys'
Everyone's
attention.
like, is that the girl with the black and white polka dot watch? I've heard about her.
Seriously.
We need to get her number.
I actually did end up on the Twitter, Kent Crush's anonymous page the next day. They're like, who's that girl wearing that watch?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So I paired that, obviously, with like an oatmeal colored tank top that I tied.
Love that.
Tied it like at the waist from PacSun with a denim skirt from PacSun and then Converse. And my hair at the time was like pitch black. I had just boxed dyed it, getting ready for the weekend of fun. And my sister took me to a Pike Annex house.
Oh, God. The frat parties.
Yes. Oh, my God. The frat parties were just, I lived it. I lived for it.
I love it.
So that was my very first college party ever. And I remember, like, I don't remember the actual house until a couple years later when I was like, oh, this was at Bando. The Bando Annex house, to anybody who's from Kent State listening. But because I got there at night and I didn't remember what the house looked like, for an entire year I was like, what was that party that I went to? And so I remember some random guy handing me a bottle of like Fireball.
Ooh, Fireball's my favorite.
Is
this story going to ruin it for you? Like the Fireball story?
No, I feel like it doesn't matter how many times I puke from Fireball. I will continue to drink it.
Yeah, it's the only whiskey I like. I'm not kidding when I say that.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think because it has so much flavor that's not like rubbing alcohol.
Put it on ice.
Yeah.
It's a good drink.
Okay, I'll have to try it.
You have to try it.
Fireball on ice. It's kind of like
Fun on Weekdays X, Fireball on ice.
Love that. Love that.
Disney on ice gone wrong.
Oh my God. The collab you never knew you needed. So at the end of the night, my head and hair is dangling in the Bando toilet and just puking everywhere. And oh my God, I remember. And then we were sitting on the lawn at the house that was next door, and it was a Delta Gamma Annex house. And at the time, it was like recruitment season, so the girls couldn't go out yet. And I remember a girl yelling from her window, and I was taking a Snapchat of it at the same time, like a Snapchat of me being really drunk. And she's like, can you get off of our lawn?
Ooh.
Like, blah, blah, yelling at me. And then the next day I looked at it, and my sister still to this day will never let me forget the Pike story that started my freshman career. And I guess there's like so many details that I probably forget because it was a rough night for me, But yeah, I'll never look at the toilets. They're the same.
Oh my god.
I mean,
instant vom.
Yeah, instant vom. I mean, I have so many college stories.
Oh my god, college
I want to
is
hear
like
one of yours now.
All right.
Were any of them on a weekday?
Huh?
Were any of them on a weekday?
Of course they were on a weekday.
So,
we drink every day.
Okay. At your school, did y'all have like a certain night that was like we had
Wednesday?
Tuesday was ladies' night for us. What was Wednesday?
Wednesday was senior night at our favorite bar. So it got to the point where so I am 22, but I didn't turn 21 until after my junior year of college.
Yeah, you're young.
I know. So all my friends were 21 before. Actually, it was when COVID hit, so it was 2020. So my friends were slowly turning 21, and senior night, finally, when I got to go back for senior year and I was 21, it was going to be a whole thing, was senior night, karaoke was actually and music bingo.
Oh, music bingo.
Oh my god, the best time of your whole life. It would be this guy who comes at 6, and it was this DJ, and he would have a bingo card that he would just pass around in little pencils, and it would be like, there would be 3 rounds. It'd be like 2000s hits, like 2010 hip-hop rap hits, like et cetera, et cetera. And you would go, and they had food there, and it was like gross bar food, but I loved it because that's just how I am. Like, I don't know, I just like love it.
It's the food that's so gross for you
God.
that like
you just love it. You crave it.
I'm picturing like a French fry that you can like squeeze
Loaded
it and the oil comes out of it.
Loaded tots, you know?
That for us was like Euro gyro.
Ooh.
So good. You end up
love
there
that.
after
Greek
a night
fries?
at the bars. Greek fries?
Have you ever had those?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, the Euro place at Dayton had these Greek fries. I'd get them so much.
I don't think they actually had like Euro stuff there though.
Oh, you got it from the bar?
Well,
like
we would always get the pizza, wings, or like the mini corn dogs.
Oh my god, I love mini corn dogs.
Oh, the mini corn dogs.
People hate on corn dogs. I just spit everywhere, by the way.
I missed it.
Sorry if you saw it on the camera.
I missed it. We'll have to edit it in there like slow-mo, just going across the screen.
But no, senior night was so fun, and they would also they had like a Tim's promotion squad that would come and do like raffles and giveaways, and it was like something we literally looked forward to every single week because it was a place to gather with your friends. And during COVID, because you couldn't like get up and dance in the dance floor, it was like they would add like those white tables, you know, the white tables that you like have at every cookout you've ever been to.
Oh, always. Yeah.
Yeah.
The classic. It's iconic.
Exactly. So you would just grab a group of 10 friends and you'd go and you'd play music bingo and you'd eat and you'd try to win a raffle, and then by 10:30 you'd be too hammered and DJ Domino would come. Domino a day, and if you know, you know, was the best time ever. And we would just dance. I probably spent genuinely every Wednesday $150, and I did not have the money to do so. I'm not sitting here being like, I spent $150.
Yeah.
Like, did not have the money to do so, and I still did every weekend.
Well, $150 in college is like so different than post-grad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, it's insane to even think that like in college you're getting $4 drinks and you're like, $4, that's so much.
I would have to think like,
now,
can I really afford this White Claw?
Oh my god.
At the bar.
And now drinks are like $16.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, sure, I'll take another one. Like, yeah, I'm like, it's crazy.
$40 for 2 drinks? Sure. I'll have 2 more.
Yeah,
always.
I'll have 3.
I can totally justify it though. I don't know why. I don't know why.
This is a lesson in college, guys. If you are in college, whether you're a senior, junior, whatever, spend the money to get another drink. Okay, you deserve it, and the money's gonna come back, right?
the money's
I don't know your financial situation, but like, guys, come on.
The money will come back, or you will find a way for the money to come back. You know.
There you go.
But I will say, I think that going out on weekdays in college was more fun than the weekends itself. Like almost always. And did you have a job in college?
I had a job at a cafe, and it was where I met like my best friends. And then COVID closed the cafe, so my job was social media. Thank God the timing worked out right. But the cafe was where I literally met like my current like literal best friend to this day, Sam Jones. She listens every week.
Sam Jones, hey.
Hi.
Hey. What's up?
She's the best.
Okay, I was gonna say girl or guy. Okay.
She's the best. Yeah.
Cool.
And it was so fun because our gang of arch people, we would work, we'd make sandwiches all day, and then we'd go party every Thursday, and it was just a thing we did, and I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
so many stories.
College is almost like an extended summer camp in a way. Like your parents drop you off freshman year, and there's the movers and groovers there who are helping you move your crap in, and then you blink your eyes, and all of a sudden you're getting sent home from summer camp. You like go to the ceremony and you say goodbye to all your friends, and you barely see them. Like,
I know,
because everybody goes and does their own thing.
I cry every time I think about the day I had to say bye to all my friends because it was the worst day of my life. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I literally on the way home my car broke down. Like, think of hell, because that's what it was for me. I'm not kidding.
Your car was breaking down as you were breaking down.
Exactly.
It was really just it was a metaphor of life. How has that been going though, like for you? Because I mean, you were so close, it sounds like, with all of your friends in college. And now that you're so far away, I mean, you're literally as far across the country as you possibly could be. How has it been, like, keeping in touch with your friends? And also, will you do me the honor of passing another high note?
And you know what, Jenna, yes, I will.
Thank you.
What flavor would you like?
Perfect. We're going to go with a watermelon.
Woo!
Get the little ASMR in there.
Do you want to chug another one? No, I'll be way too drunk. I shouldn't. I'll be like literally, or should we? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I'm leaving. I'm going back to Austin tomorrow morning. So if I'm going to go on the flight, I'm going to be sleeping anyways. So it's like,
I think we should do it.
This is kind of like my last celebratory. Okay, well, let me see how much I can do of this.
Okay.
Because now my burps are starting to catch up with me. I feel like when you're drinking a seltzer when you're out, if I know that I'm going to be talking to people who are especially like cute guys, I'm not gonna drink a seltzer because I'm going to be like burping in their face. Oh my god,
I always do. You probably have seen me do it 3 times. If you're watching the video version of this podcast, I will take a sip and I'll listen to it and I'll go, because I keep burping.
You're blowing it over there.
Like, it's insane. I don't even know what to do.
But getting back to you, staying in touch with your friends. Okay. Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I actually just surprised them in Chicago because they were all going there, and I'm a little attention whore, and I was like, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can say that. Of course you can. We're not going to filter you here.
Okay.
Be who you are, Stephen. Be proud of it.
I surprised them because they were all going to end up in a Chicago weekend for some reason, like just doing there was no celebration of like really anything. It was just like they were all just randomly going, and they invited me. I was like, oh guys, I can't go. Like, it's not in the funds. Like,
oh yeah,
I have work. I can't take time off work.
Wait, was this during the week or was it during a weekend?
It was during the weekend. I left on Thursday, but I booked the flight 3 weeks in advance. And up until the day of, I was like posting things acting like I was still in LA to trick them, and it worked. It was so awesome.
Oh, I love that.
But no, our group chat, I have a really, really awesome group of friends where we are just talking in the group chat 24/7. Like, it's like I knew from the second we graduated and left that like I was just going to talk to them all the time. And we just scheduled New Year's Eve plans. Hocking Hills. Been there? Ever been there?
No, I've never been there, but great place I've heard.
It's great, yeah.
I feel like, when you have friends that like you're super close with that you're so used to seeing every single day, and then you move somewhere or like people get busy, they get full-time jobs, and you graduate college, it's really hard to figure out how you like change that dynamic so you can still feel like a part of each other's lives. And I feel like scheduling those types of trips, it gives you something to look forward to.
Exactly.
But also realizing that you have to make a conscious effort. Like if that's somebody that you want to keep in your life, then you have to be responsive in the group chat. Like no one's going to text you back if you're not texting them, you know?
Exactly.
And I think that's something that I learned as well is like, if I want to keep in touch with my friends from college, then like you can't put so much pressure on, oh yeah, we lost touch because they never text me. Yeah. Well, do you text them? Do you call them? Do you talk to them? And I'm so guilty of that. To any of my friends from college or that are listening, like I could do such a better job, and that's something I'm aware of. But it's like, you know, being mindful of like, okay, do you want to be like close with them or, you know, what?
It was a really weird...
I just saw the guys like walk past the window and they're probably like... So we're recording in my Airbnb in Venice right now, and Mike and Gunnar just got home, and I just saw them sneak past the window. We make them hold the painting. Yeah, get them behind us so we can get like a backdrop over there.
They're just standing in the back.
I love that you're like making trips to still be mindful and like hang out with them.
Yeah, and back to what you were saying about like not keeping in touch with college friends. It's this weird thing. If any of you college listeners are in your senior year, I don't know how it is for your guys' different campuses, but for me, everyone knows everyone on Dayton's campus, especially when you're graduating and you're hanging out with everyone. So it got to a point where you can't feel bad, like, if you can't hang out with someone senior year, because at the end of the day, if you are thinking, like, well, like, this person invited me to this pregame, but, like, at the same time, like, there's, like, my friends that I want to hang out with, like, you really have to think about it in the least shady way possible. Like, if you want to hang out with your friends, there's only so much time in your life where you're literally going to be able to walk 10 steps to your friend's house and be able to hang out with them.
Yeah, that's so true.
And you just kind of have to be smart about it. Don't follow your heart. Follow your brain. Literally. I'm not kidding. Just think about it.
Okay. I kind of like that because I feel like typically people are always saying, like, don't follow, you know, like, do follow your heart.
I also, this is a very, very good shout out I have to give. It's perfect for fun on weekdays. Okay. And I just thought about this. I forgot that I did this. Okay. So, when you are in college, obviously you graduate in May, right? Early May.
Yes.
Typically, friends,
or if you're graduating in the fall.
Right. Oh my god.
But I feel like majority of people do graduate in May.
Right.
So
So my friends that I met really like senior year, their names are Margaret, Maggie, whatever. And they started this April project thing. I got added to this group chat on March 30th, I think, 31st, whatever was the last day of March. And they were like, April project, if you want to be included, like, let us know. And I was just like, I don't know what it is, sure. Basically what it was is a way for you to grab a drink with someone you have never really spent a lot of time with, which is totally just like, I am literally contradicting the point I just made of hanging out with people I don't know. But basically it was...
Every other day you have a different mindset though.
Right.
Like one day you might want to be like super social and one day you might not want to. Maybe one day you want to meet somebody new, you know?
Exactly. So it was like, people would just text you and be like, hey, like April project. Basically their idea was like, they had names on these chart and you would get like a little star next to your name if you like posted a picture in the group chat being like, I grabbed a drink with this person that I've never met. And it turned in from like the first week it was like, I grabbed a drink with this person I've never met. We hung out for 15 minutes and it was like kind of awkward. And then it was like just we would have hangouts on porches at the end every day. It was so fun.
I feel like the first
So like
time...
shout out to you guys because that was a great idea. I recommend doing that.
Well, I love that idea, but I also do think that the first time you hang out with somebody, especially in like a solo situation, because I think in college you're so used to making friends from like association, right? So you have like mutual friends and maybe you meet at like a pregame or you meet at a party or through your sorority or work or whatever it is. But when you meet a friend like one-on-one post-grad, maybe you're meeting them through like work or, you know, fitness class or something like that. But more often than not, you're meeting them like just one-on-one.
For sure.
So it can be really awkward the first time you hang out with someone.
Oh my God, for sure.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that like you're not going to be great friends. I think again, it just kind of depends what you're looking for in a friendship. Like, is it worth it to like continue to hang out with this person?
And me and you coming from Midwest colleges can relate because you just hang out in group settings all the time.
Yeah,
we're not like naturally like ready to just hang out one-on-one with everyone. I rarely ever saw someone on my campus like at the bar we always would go to or like the margarita place like on a date with someone. I'd never like see them be like, that's weird. Like you just never see it. Everyone's always in groups.
There's two different types of friends too. You have friends that like you always hang out with in a group of people, and like to hang out with them one-on-one, it wouldn't be like super natural. That's totally fine. And then you have the friends that like you could literally sit in the same room together and not even talk, but you just want to be in each other's presence because you just like spending time together and it's just like fun, you know? It's totally cool to have both.
It's crazy.
But it is definitely hard like post-grad to find those people, and I talk about this literally all the time. And
I love it.
Do you feel like you found those people like in LA yet? Because I know you found those people for sure in
I have. And you know what? This is where I want to also give another advice. It's like, just step out of your comfort zone. And if you're thinking like, oh, I would think I would be great friends with this person. I'm going to message them, but I don't want to be weird about it. Just send the message. What's the worst that could happen? They don't respond.
Yeah.
Who cares?
They leave you on red or like, then what do? You unsend the message.
Yeah. My friend, literally now one of my like best friends, Erin, she DM'd me and she said, hey, me and my friends just graduated from Michigan State University and we just moved to LA to work jobs and we follow you on TikTok. We think you're hilarious. Come to this pregame if you want. I show up to the pregame and I've literally hung out with them every weekend since. I am obsessed with them and we're going to dinner tomorrow and drinks. We're going to go out in West Hollywood, Saddle Ranch maybe, I don't know.
I love that.
It was awesome and I feel so lucky that I showed up to the pregame and it was like so naturally fun.
Did you go to the pregame alone?
Went to the pregame alone.
Okay, I love that.
Showed up empty-handed again because I don't know how LA works and it's so hard to find alcohol. Every county, every town is different with like a 7-Eleven having like a case of White Claw or not. Yeah. I'm not kidding. There's like a 7-Eleven in two opposite directions from my house and one of them does not have alcohol and one of them does.
Interesting.
Yeah, weird.
I feel like there's probably time constrictions too, like after a certain time you can buy it or not.
I don't know.
But I love that. Yeah, like you would have literally never met them if you would have never gone to the pregame.
They're awesome. I love them.
And you could have gone to that pregame and it could have been weird as fuck.
And then it would just be a funny story to tell.
Exactly. Another question that I wanted to ask you is, so you've been in LA for like a bit of time and you're living with, what's your living situation?
So I am very, very lucky because that also has a really crazy story with it. As I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, I was like, I want to live in LA and I didn't think it was a reality until my brother lived here. And me and my older brother are so close, so it was just kind of like obviously, let's do it. My brother and his girlfriend, as we were like looking for houses, I'm in Toledo, they're in LA. I get a text from my brother, and he's like, hey, would you be mad if like me and Sophia moved to New York? And I was like, I had a freak out in my little childhood bedroom at home. Yeah.
New York, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, what? And they were like, well, Sophia just found this job. They want to interview her. Like, it's seeming like she's going to get it. I was like freaking out in my room. luckily, because I'm selfish, she got it, but it was like not like it was too much of a quick turnaround, so she didn't take it. But I was like freaking out that I was going to have to live alone and search for studio apartments by myself when I'm across the country. Like, it would have been hell. But it didn't. So now I live with my older brother Joe and his girlfriend Sophia, and then our other roommate Jamie, who was Sophia's friend from Chicago.
Okay.
And it is awesome. It's a 3-bed, 3.5 bath on top of another house.
A 3-bed. Okay, so your brother and the girlfriend are in the same
share room. Yep.
Okay, I'm like, that's an interesting dynamic we got going there. Okay.
I know. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Yeah, and I feel like that's another thing too. It's probably made the transition a little bit easier for you just to have them there too.
Easier.
You know? Yeah.
That's how I made a bunch of my friends instantly, because they were like thankfully inviting me to all of the things that they were going to. Yeah. Just like hanging out at like pool parties. Like if they weren't here, I'd literally be sitting in my room all weekend being like,
no, you wouldn't.
Does anyone
want
to
hang out? Fun on a weekday.
I'd be having fun on weekdays.
Exactly. Wait, so what kind of things do you guys do like during the week? Because I think it's so fun now living with the guys, because I just moved into my own apartment, but living with the guys, I'm like, oh, it's kind of fun. You can like watch a movie one night, we went to a picnic one night.
Yeah. So there's so much like, well, we spent a lot of our time searching for like house stuff. Like we had to get couches, rugs, decor, all that stuff. So like now that's over,
fun to do.
I know, right?
I love it.
My brother Joey is like so obsessed with it, and I never thought he would be, because he's just like a worker. Like he works so late because he's just like obsessed with marketing. But he always like the second he clocks out, he's like, all right, like let's hang stuff up. Like that's how it is. It's the best situation because it's me and a bunch of like 27-year-olds. So it's like I can tag along to whatever they're doing, but also like I can kind of go off and be like, I'm gonna hang out with like my Gen Z 22-year-olds. It's perfect. But now that we're done like shopping for the house, and like our roommate moved in kind of late, she was like doing the whole like road trip from Cincinnati, like doing all the fun stops. It's fun because there's a bar down the street from our house that does, I'm gonna burp again. Trivia on Tuesdays.
It's these damn seltzers.
Yeah.
We should have thought.
Okay, so we do trivia on Tuesdays at the bar we go to, but also there's a tennis court within walking distance of our neighborhood that we go to 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
And I am obsessed with playing tennis. So tennis, yeah. It's we go Tuesday nights and Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. But I did sleep through it today, I'm not gonna lie. I slept right through the alarm. But yeah, and then other than that, it's just like, we did a fun like margarita night taco dinner. It's just fun. Like fun on weekdays can be also in the comfort of your own home, which I'm sure you've talked about a bunch of times. I have tried personally.
Really, to be honest, I haven't talked about that like much at all. But that's a really great point. I like that.
There's a bunch of different like events and bars you can go to, but also if you have nothing to do and if you're broke, cook a new meal at home. Like if you have the materials, like make a new cocktail. Like read a book that you find in your house. Like it can be so many different things. And this is gonna sound so cringy, but like romanticize your life at home. If you can't go out and do things, you know?
I feel like the fun on weekdays idea, when I originally started it, it was really just like perfect timing. It was really just like a phrase that I said at the end of a TikTok, and I was like, I'm going to start a podcast, and it's called Fun on Weekdays. And I think that when I first started it, people thought that it was revolved around the idea of working a corporate job, and that's totally not it. Like, and I've said this in episode 4 when I was talking about my vision for the podcast and everything. I like that you said that it's literally just about like romanticizing your life and enjoying the moments, and like the small things in life can be enjoyable and fun if you allow them to be.
And I like that you said it doesn't have to be drinking. You don't have to be drunk. I know that I've opened my 3rd high noon, but like it does not have to be drinking at all.
It's really just the idea of like every day you do something fun that's entertaining, and I like how you said you've done so many things. I mean, in college you did the 100 days, and then here you go to tennis, or you do like you cook in with your roommates, do something like that. Like there are so many different ways that Fun on Weekdays applies to people's lives, and it's not just like how do you have fun after you get off of work.
The way you phrased it in that TikTok that blew up, which is kind of the start of this whole Fun on Weekdays thing, was like, you were like, you're wasting X amount of hours or days if you just like end work, cook dinner, and go to bed, which is fine. But like, it was such a good phrase, because when I watched it, I was like, wait, it's like a really good point. Like, you can't waste that much time, because like, if the world ends tomorrow, we can do it, you know?
So true.
You gotta go make a new friend, cook a new meal, try a new cocktail, try a new sport.
I love
Read a new book. keep going.
You just keep going and going. Yeah, I love that. But also, just like one other thing I wanted to ask you about your job, because you just transitioned from college to like working, do you work 9 to 5?
I do.
Okay, and how has that been for you to integrate, like having fun with your roommates, meeting new people? How has that been for you, like with a corporate job?
That is a great question.
Structure in life.
So it was weird because before I moved, I was in Ohio and I started in May. So I was doing a 12 to 8 schedule, which was awful because it was awful for like trying to go out at night, but in the mornings, I made mornings my time of like, this is my free time. And I still, now that I made that my thing, it translated over to California time because now I can wake up early. And I wake up early. I actually did this awesome thing that I'm not going to do a lot, like the other day, where I woke up at 7 a.m. and walked to Alfred's Coffee on like Rodeo Drive, which was like something I was obsessed with like 2 years ago when I like visited LA for the first time.
That's one of my favorite things to do is literally just go walk and go to a different coffee shop.
I know, walk to a coffee shop, listen to a podcast.
It takes like 30 minutes.
It's the simplest thing that is so fun.
And that like time alone that you spend walking there alone.
Therapeutic.
It's so good.
It's incredible. And then other than that, like at night, my brother's doing Sobertober because he's like, I've never done a sober month. Like, let's try it out. So I'm the one who's like, that sounds lame because, I just don't know if I can do that. I like to have fun with some alcoholic drinks in my hand. So I've been like cooking a lot more because I'm like, you know what? If I'm ending work at 5, I got so into the routine of ending work at 8 because I was on East Coast time. So if I'm like ending work at 5, I'm like, I have so much time on my hands. I'm going to cook a giant meal. I'm going to spice everything up. I'm going to eat it. And then it's like, what, 6:30 or 7 p.m. at the time? You have so much time, You can read. I like to read. I like to like plan like TikToks out that I think will be funny. They end up not being funny.
No, they're so funny. This is a plug too.
It's always the videos that don't go...
Always.
That you don't think are funny that you just post for fun and they go viral.
Always.
It like drives me nuts, but I'm like...
This is a plug too to follow Stephen on TikTok. I mean, this is literally how we became friends. Yeah. I think he's hilarious. You can obviously tell from the podcast he's hilarious. But like, as you said, I mean, and also too when you were working that like 12 to 8 schedule, that's not a standard 9 to 5, but you still made time in your schedule.
Yeah. I would
before work.
Yeah, I would wake up and like go to the gym, and then instantly after that, I would make a giant breakfast, and because my work was 12 to 8. Making a new breakfast meal every day was my thing. So I would make like breakfast quesadillas, like hash and whatever. I don't know. I would just like, improvise and have fun with it. And it just like kind of added that little like fun to the day. Yeah. Yeah.
It makes every day not seem like you're living the same day over and over and over on repeat. I've seen so many like tweets that are like, so you're telling me that I'm supposed to just live every single day like this until I retire?
Such a good point you're bringing up right now.
And I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. Like, if that's your mindset, then that's exactly how you're going to live. But if you don't want to live like that, then change it.
Like, this world is not placed down here for you to do that. You got to go have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Do whatever you want to do.
Love that. And also, too, like, so many people have jobs that are not a 9 to 5. Like a hairstylist or a nurse or a teacher. Like, people have untraditional, like, times. And there's always, like, time in your day. Yeah. I mean, not necessarily always. I mean, there's some days that are like super long hours and everything, and I totally understand that. But you can always like find time in your day to do something that makes your day different than the day before. And, like,
I love it.
Entertaining.
I love it. And a lot of the times when I am telling that to people, whether it's on a live stream or a podcast, because I promote the same exact mindset, if someone's like, well, what do you do if you have no friends? I'm like, I'm like, start a new show. Go on a walk by yourself. Like, also, a lot of people, like, one of my things was like, I always want to, like, go out to dinner by myself or go out to brunch by myself. And I don't think that's weird at all because I've done it.
I think that's such a freaking power move.
It's so fun. And also, if you're like, well, people are going to be looking at me like, why is that person alone? Like, you have to think back, like, when have I ever looked at anyone else at the restaurant? Never in my life.
Literally.
If someone's eating alone, I'm never like, what the heck? I'm like, go you.
Yeah, that is such a good point. And the other half, I'm like,
I don't even notice. So just do it.
I love that. And also, too, I say this before, but, like, if you don't have any friends, you have to be your own friend before you can get any other friends.
Very good point. Very good point.
And, like, being your own friend means hanging out by yourself. And if that means going to, like, go... I went to Panera alone, like, 2 weeks ago. And even today, what did I do today? I went to Air One. Yeah. I walked there, got coffee and breakfast this morning and sat there for, like, 30 minutes.
So fun.
And if you aren't thinking in your head like, oh, everybody thinks I'm a weirdo for sitting here alone, no one's thinking that.
And it takes a second to get out of that mindset. Like, it's not going to happen instantly. And right when you do and you start doing it, it's going to be like, wow.
Yeah, the only person thinking that is yourself. And really, it's like your own ego holding yourself back from enjoying time alone in like public settings. And not that you have to spend time with yourself like in public settings. I mean, you can spend so much time in your house. But the point is really to like get out there. Because you can spend hours and hours in your bed watching Netflix. And that can be fun. Yeah. But like, literally, there's so much more to life than literally like staying in the environment that you're in the majority of your life. Yeah, you know?
100% agree. And best part about this podcast, Fun on Weekdays,
you're being so inspirational right now.
I know, right? High five. Best part about this podcast is if you are like, okay, well, I don't have any ideas. Well, you got it right here. Listen to all the episodes and you'll get plentiful ideas.
Yeah, and I think another thing with that too is there's only so many ideas of things that I can tell you to do for fun. But like at the end of the day, it's really a mindset of do you want to maximize your life and like finding opportunities for yourself instead of waiting for somebody to tell you how to have fun. Because fun looks different to everyone. Yep. So I could give you a list of 100 activities, but that isn't going to sound as enticing to 50 people that are reading it. Yeah. So fun is 100%. What you determine it. And like Fun on Weekdays is so interpretive based off of what you want it to be. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And every time you are, like, back to the whole, like, every time you just, like, end work and just, like, go to bed is, like, another day wasted. Every time you are focusing on everyone else having fun and looking at Snap Stories being like, everyone else's life is so much cooler than mine is also time wasted. Put down the phone.
Totally.
Go for a walk. Listen to your podcast. Get a coffee. Get a drink at the bar. Have yourself time.
I love that.
It's okay. We're good.
Yeah, I love that. Right? And every time that you're comparing yourself to somebody thinking like, oh, wow, they're having so much fun, there are times that there are people thinking the exact same thing about yourself as well.
Exactly.
So you have to remind yourself of that. Like social media, everybody shares the good times, you know? And if there are days that like you get off of work and you just don't have the mental capacity to do anything, totally fine. You need those mental days to just literally focus on yourself, recoup, regroup, and then the next day
regroup.
I just came up with that, and I'm like,
regroup.
Did I just come up with a new motto? What did I just do there? I'm trademarking it. Is that what you call it? Trademark or
trademark it?
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's kind of like the end of my spiel of our little
same.
Like this.
They got a little too inspirational. I'm woo!
I'm glad this ended up being way more inspirational than I thought because you and I are very goofy people, you know. And we could have totally taken this and just told really funny stories the entire time.
Yeah, it was like perfect.
Yeah.
Just told the goofy stuff, and now we're inspirational, and that's who we are.
Exactly. You get like a takeaway from it. You walk away with something. You're reflecting about your own life. But we did something on your podcast that I loved, and it was the shits and...
Yeah, the shots and shits of the week.
The shots and shits of the week.
Which is something I do on my podcast, and it was just it's like highs and lows of the week, but because it was drinking game podcast, I said shot is like, you know, woo! And like taking a shot, and a shit is just like, well, shit, I did this, or this happened to me.
Yes. Yeah. So I want to know, what were your shots and shits of the week?
Wow, great question. Well, I would have to say after this recording session, my shot is this. Okay. Because I'm having so much fun.
Yay!
Jenna's the best, and she's the first creative friend I've met in person, which is so cool, because she was also my first. Yeah. So it's like, first creative friend online, first creative friend in person. Let's talk about besties for the resties.
I know. Do you think that I am like the same person? Like I feel like
for sure.
Okay, cool.
150%. Because I FaceTimed you a bunch. We've texted a bunch. It's like
so true. I think a lot of times too, the friends on the internet sometimes you just don't click as well in person. Yeah. And I'm not talking about anyone in specific, but I'm just thinking like you create a perception of who you think someone's going to be, and then you meet them in person. You're like, oh, you know, don't necessarily.
Big thing in LA here. I feel like I haven't experienced, but I feel like I will. So I'll keep you guys updated.
That's what I'm referring to. Yeah. Keep us updated. On
I will.
And then your shit of the week.
Yeah, my shit of the week would have to be flying home from Chicago at 6 a.m. after I did not go to bed because I was out partying. I was tired. I was falling asleep at the airport. I had to be woken up about 3 times because I kept dropping my phone on the floor of the gate. Okay. And then I just kept and it was a connecting flight, so I had to take off, land. And then when I got home, it was 11 a.m. LA time because of the time change. And I was like, we're ready to go.
Oh my gosh.
And I was saying to my friends, like, I'm going to sleep all day. I get home to LA, my brother's like, we're going to brunch. I'm like, oh God. I go to brunch, and then I was like, no, I'm kind of awake because I had a coffee. Next thing you know, I'm at a pool party. The way I felt on Monday was one of the worst. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. I literally was like, no one talked to me. I cannot even look at anyone. My eyes were like in my mouth. That's how tired I was.
It's a little something I like to call jet lag.
Jet lag.
Jet lag.
3 hours jet lag.
Okay. Yep. I know. I feel like I'm going to have jet lag
I've never been outside of the country, so I don't even know what real jet lag is.
I haven't either.
Really?
No, I'm so uncultured in the
Me
sense
too.
that I don't.
Oh my God, I'm so glad someone can relate.
I have really never traveled. Like, I mean, this is my second time in LA, and this is the furthest I've ever traveled away from like
literally
my hometown.
Me too. Not kidding.
Hopefully next year when things like start to open up a little bit more like internationally, have the opportunity to do that. But I don't know, just traveling all the time is really expensive, and the amount of time that you spend on the freaking flight, it's what, like 12-hour flights? Like,
oh my God.
So hard.
I get so in my head about it, and I've never done it. I'm like, I don't know how anyone does it. A 12-hour flight. Like, I had such a freak out, and everyone's like, people literally do it every day. Like,
all the time.
Yeah.
So I would say my shot of the week.
Yeah, let's get into it. I want to hear.
Actually, let's start with the shit of the week.
Yeah.
So my shit of the week.
I love this. I love this so much. I'm so excited. Isn't it funny to say out loud? My shit of the week.
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't had many of them because, just kind of like diet issues. No, I'm just kidding. So.
That reminds me,
talking
you
bowel movements
made a
here.
joke on our episode a couple months ago.
And it didn't hit right away.
And I didn't hit because it was either like, I think I was like too focused on what to say next.
Yes.
And then you were like, Steven, you just like did not get my joke there. And I was like, and I had to listen back at the end of the episode to realize what the joke was. I'm not kidding.
I feel like I always have
nervous.
The one-liner jokes that kind of go over your head,
That's funny though.
So my shit of the week actually though, I would say is just adjusting to the weather in LA has been like really bad on my allergies.
Ooh.
So it's had me like really tired, really congested, and that just kind of put me in like a down mood, I would say. I haven't really had like any actual shits of the week necessarily. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what else. Like, I don't know. I feel like these days anything bad that really happens to me, I kind of turn. I'm like, it's not that bad. You know?
Exactly.
It's your mindset. Like, if you think it's a shitty thing that happened to you, then it is. But if you're like, it's like an opportunity,
it was meant to be. I'm exactly where we're supposed to be.
Right. So I would say my shot of the week is today. I get to announce, which this episode is coming out like after I've made the announcement, but I'm hosting my first ever Fun on Weekdays event that's sponsored by Visible. And it's my first time that I actually get to like bring people together for a legitimate podcast event. So it's it's
cool.
called Fun on Halloween.
So cool.
Get to post about it today, and I've been keeping it a secret for like a month and a half now.
I feel like I was part of a secret club because I knew about it before everyone else. I don't want to brag, but
I did tell you about it today, and I've been like telling all of my super close friends about it, and just been so excited. So I feel like this week in general, and on top of getting to meet you and Zachary as well, I mean, I've had a lot of growth this week professionally, like just getting things ready for the event, getting episodes recorded, and then tomorrow I'm going back to Austin. I'm meeting with my dad this weekend. I haven't seen him since literally March, so
oh my God, that's cool.
Just like really great things going on right now.
Life is good.
And like the good things outweigh, the bad. So might have a little bit of some allergy.
Jenna is so nice, by the way, guys. Like, I remember right when we became friends, do you remember when I commented on TikTok and I was like, I want to work for you guys, and then we had that whole conversation. Like, Jenna will look out for you even if you have not talked for months. Like, she literally, I remember you text me all the time and you're like, hey, like I have this opportunity that like someone reached out for like to me for, and like I don't know, I thought you'd be good, so like here it is. I'm like, Jenna's so nice in that way. She just cares.
She's
a caring person.
Thank you. I try to, but I don't know. I try to be really nice.
You are.
Everybody has their days, and I think for the
You're
most part...
You're also busy.
Yeah.
If you're busy, it's hard to be nice. I'm not kidding.
That's exactly where I was going to go with that. I was going to say, because when you were graduating, and like any of my creator type friends that were graduating, and there were jobs that were coming to me, and they're like, oh, do you know anybody for this? I would always be like pitching the jobs to you. And now I feel like I'm so freaking busy that I don't have as much time to be like so like diligent, I guess, with my friendships. And sometimes I'm like, I feel like I'm being a bad friend because I'm not as like responsive, you know?
It's weird because if you're doing social media full time, it's like people think that you're on your phone 24/7, so you can respond to a text and have a whole conversation, but like it's just not like that. So
totally not like that at all. That's something that I've definitely learned for sure. Sure.
Yeah.
But the last thing that I do for every episode, have you listened to my podcast, Stephen?
I have.
Be honest.
I listened to the Ken one, and I listened to the Lewis one.
Okay, perfect. So you already know what I'm about to ask you, which is, what is your fun weekday recommendation of my followers to do this week?
I feel like I gave so many recommendations in this episode already, but my new recommendation, there's so many in my head, and let me tell you
Hopefully it's not one that's already come about, but let's hear it.
I would say find a place within your area, whether you live in a small town or a big city, that has some sort of trivia night. Ooh. Let me tell you why. I love trivia night because I'm dumb, so it also teaches you so much, but if you're good at trivia, it's fun. We went to this trivia night. I think I already talked about it, but we went to this trivia night down the street at the bar that we live at, or the bar that we live near. And it was so fun because there was this table there that you could tell went there every week to win trivia. But because I was my brother and Sophia are so good at trivia, they know everything about everything. So it was fun because it was our first Tuesday there doing trivia. And it was oh my God, this table was rattled by the knowledge that was coming from us. Not me. I answered one question out of 100.
Also a good way to bond too with
it's
friends.
A great way to bond, yeah.
In a more wholesome way too. Mm-hmm. You know, it gives you an activity to bond over rather than just going to a bar that you can't even hear each other talk at and you're just ripping shots, you know? It's it's a fun
Exactly.
It's a fun thing. Yeah. You could also have trivia night at your own place too.
Oh my God, true, yeah.
Have you ever, so these are just some options for if you don't have a trivia place near you. You could do Quiplash.
My old roommate Zach is obsessed with Quiplash. It's so fun.
Yeah. I think I might have actually said this in podcast with Zachary. If I didn't, but then this is a new idea. But also,
I'm going. It hasn't come out yet. Yeah, you did.
There's also so many apps on your phone too. You don't have to go to a bar with your friends. You can invite them over, whatever.
Oh, actually, I have another recommendation. My friends and I did this Zoom I think we call it a power ranking.
Oh.
Grab 3 friends or grab 10 friends, however many you have. Invite them to a Zoom. An hour before, give them categories with a Google form. Who's the most likely to do this? Who's most likely to do that? Have everyone's names. Have everyone vote on everyone. Be the host. And then just have a literal award show on Zoom. It's that easy. It's a good way to laugh. It's a good way to do whatever. It's so fun.
I love that. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of when on TikTok they were having their friends over to do a presentation night where you make a presentation about these are the guys I've hooked up with, or these are the reasons why this fraternity is the best, or something like that. Those are always so fun and creative, and I don't know, it's unique to your friends.
Yeah, TikTok is such a great way to get ideas for fun things.
So true, so true. But we have been talking.
You? Do you have any fun on weekday?
Fun? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Well, we were after this. I mean, it's Halloween season. Do something that is Halloween inspired. A little festive. So my recommendations are: get some pumpkins and carve them. To be honest,
Jen and I personally love getting the guts out of the pumpkin. We could not love it more.
I love the texture through my fingers.
Oh my God, I couldn't.
I don't love carving them, but it's fun. The idea of carving pumpkins is a lot more fun than the actual activity. But do that and make sure that you save the seeds, get some salt on there and put them in the oven, get a nice snack. Or you could go to a corn maze or a haunted house. Do something wholesome and festive for the holiday.
Yeah, do it. Happy Halloween, guys.
Yeah.
Spooky season.
So that is the very end of the episode, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you want to follow Stephen, plug yourself.
So, Stephen Rigatoni on TikTok with a PH.
Okay.
On TikTok. And you can also hear me talk more shit on Drinking Game podcast, which is available everywhere.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And if you're ever in LA and you want a friend, you're moving here, maybe you're just in town, hit Stephen up. He's a great time, and I'm sure he'd love to hang out with you.
Yeah.
So that is the very end of it. Thank you for coming on.
This was so fun.
Thank you.
We got so much in, I feel.
I know. I feel we have so much content.
Yeah.
It's how do you even... Yeah. I don't think we even have to cut anything out.
I'm thank you guys for being so nice to us, audience.
So I will talk to y'all next Tuesday.
Cheers.